Dear God, here I am, desperately trying to cover up my information as I show you my pill bottle. Can you see it? I think you can see it. Yeah, this. This right here. This name. Palperidone. I think you can see it, kind of. Sort of. The focus on this camera is so bad. It's like... It's the worst camera. It's kind of the best camera. Yeah, this. Palperidone. I've been taking this medicine for a few days now, and I've noticed the side effects just getting worse. Is my heart, I've been getting palpitations where my heart goes really, really fast, uncontrollably, and I've been getting severe headaches. I already get really bad migraines. I always have. It just always happens to me, and I take rizatriptan for it. The problem is, rizatriptan is not cutting it to take with this medicine. So this medicine has been giving me severe headaches and migraines worse than I had before. Not fun. Don't like it. 0 out of 10. I would prefer not to. And the other thing is that I've been getting these palpitations where I feel like my heart is beating out of my chest. And this is not normal for me at all. Not even remotely. And I'm afraid if my dosage goes up, I'm gonna like die or something. Because this dose, this is 1.5 milligrams. I think the highest you can go up to is 9. So it's the beginning dose. And already in the beginning dose, I'm starting to get heart palpitations and my head is hurting all the time. And it's helped with my sleep to the extent that it's made my sleep cycle more normal from making me tired. But I don't want to take this. It's just like risperidone. Is that when I took risperidone, I got these like insane heart palpitations, and my body would have these uncontrollable movements and stuff. I don't want to take this anymore. This is why I don't take antipsychotics. Is that every time I've taken antipsychotics, I've had one of these weird side effects. Like I have this one right, if I could cover up my address and stuff. If I could cover up my name and stuff. I have this one right here. Cryoterpene, which is basically just Seroquel. I don't want to take Seroquel next. Like, I was advised not to start both medications at once, and I'm glad I didn't, because if I took both of those medications at once, I feel like my brain would be exploding by this point. I haven't been experiencing good things on this medicine. And so I haven't hallucinated ever since I started taking it, except like a little bit. And I guess it's working in that department, but I don't want to keep taking it if my heart is going to beat out of my chest, and it's not even from anxiety. That's the thing, is that when I get paranoia, I don't really get anxiety. I get paranoia more so than I get anxiety. But if there's persistent paranoia and stuff going on, then I know what that feels like. And there are certain thoughts, I guess you could say they're triggers, so there are certain thoughts, memories that I have that when I think back to them, they immediately hurt and bother me, and I want to stop thinking about them, right? It's gotten less bad over time, but since I've started taking this medicine, what I've noticed is that when I think about those thoughts, they don't even affect me. First of all, they don't interrupt my headspace nearly as much. They don't randomly show up like they used to, but when I intentionally think about them, I don't feel bad. They don't even remotely bother me, whereas before, if I intentionally thought about them, they would bother me, and they would randomly show up all the time. So it's helped in that department with the kind of, I don't know what you would call that, memory depression or anxiety or something like that. It's actually helped with that. But I'm starting to wonder is taking this medicine and getting these heart palpitations and getting these really chronic headaches worth alleviating those symptoms? I don't even know if it's going to BTFO all of the hallucinations. I've still had some. I've still had some. So will it? I don't know. I would probably have to get a higher dose, and if I get a higher dose, then I'm gonna keep having these goddamn side effects. So I don't like antipsychotics. I really don't. But I don't know what other choices I have. Um, the other thing I forgot to mention was dehydration. I've been getting really severe dehydration pretty much all the time whilst taking this medicine, and dehydration was one of the side effects, so I know for a fact that that's what's causing it. And the thing is that I have a kidney stone, so if the dehydration is bad enough, will it affect the kidney stone? Probably. And so I don't want that to happen. I already drink enough water as it is, but I've been getting dehydrated anyway. So I don't think this is long-term viable. The medication is Invega, that's the brand name. Maybe some of you have taken it before. I don't want to keep taking it. Do you know what pisses me off? Throughout all of December, well, yeah, all of December because it snowed back in November. We've had a full-on drought when it comes to cold weather and snow. Yesterday, it felt like we were in the middle of fall, and the days prior to that were the same way. We haven't gotten a bit of rain, much less snow. It's basically been a full-on drought. I don't know what to do about it, because here I am wanting to be able to frolic and play around in an icy wasteland because it's Christmas time, and there's nothing I can do. I can't record comfy walking videos in the snow. I can't glance outside and then look around and go, oh hey, it's snowing today. It's so nice. It's snowing today. I can't do any of that. Even just looking outside my window or feeling the cold air coming into the house as I'm on my laptop watching an anime or some other bullshit like that brings me an air of comfort that I cannot describe. It's almost it's like a familiarity thing. It's just because it's there, it's as if it enhances your other activities just by being around. That it's that positive of a force when it comes around that it affects your entire way of doing things. I really love the feeling of getting cold, but another feeling that I love just as much, if not more, is getting warm from the cold. Being able to come inside and put on a whole bunch of blankets and feel as if your entire body is alleviated from the immensely cold weather you were just in. There's a comfort that comes to that naturally, like the feel-good hormones come about from putting on a blanket because of that childhood connotation that you have with it from when you were little, you know, being wrapped up in a blanket. You're going to still feel a sense of comfort from it because it calls back to that time. But more so is the comfort one would feel from getting warm, from the pain you feel on some level from being cold. Once you allow yourself to warm up, you're being comforted by that. You know, that's why we have these images of people with like hot cocoa and stuff all the time, of the Folgers commercial with the kid who was in the snow and he like turns into a snowman, but he comes in and he eats the chicken noodle soup, and he turns back into a child again because he ate it. We have all of these cultural touchstones that play upon this idea that being in the snow feels one way, but when you come in and warm up, it feels nostalgic and nice and comforting. And I like that feeling a lot. It isn't just being warm, it's being cold and then going to being warm. It's very, very special to lay in bed and watch like an episode of Pingu in the City, like that and so on. And one of my best memories, actually, is coming home from, or not coming home, is being inside in the cold when we weren't able to pay for heating. We didn't have enough money to pay for heating at the time. This was at my old house in Tennessee, the one that I grew up in. And this is in the middle of January, I believe. And I just sat there and watched Pingu in the City on my mom's laptop at the time, laying in my bed, and then glancing out my window, looking at the snow that was falling to the ground. There had to have been, 4 inches of it, and the whole house was cold. But I liked it. I thought it was a nice, comforting feeling knowing that I could bundle up in all these blankets that I had and glance out at the beautiful landscape as I watched the anime that I was watching on my computer, or my mom's computer. It was really special. And then that same day, I went outside and I recorded a video out there of me walking around and playing around in the snow. And it was really comfy. It was a very special day. It was a very special few days. But that day especially, I was met with this immense joy and comfort that swept over me in a way that didn't in any other part of the year. And I've been met with this feeling many, many times. Earlier this year, in November, when I recorded those videos in the snow, that was the most joy that I've experienced for the entire year. Hands down. That was the most joy, besides maybe when I watched Zombieland Saga in the middle of the summer and I cried at that scene in episode 8 where Lily is singing for her father. That's like the closest. Maybe that was the most joy that I experienced this year. But the snow had to have been the second most. I was so happy when that came about, and I feel almost no emotions for like the entire year, just because I've become so emotionally detached due to pain and trauma. And so getting to feel something that positive was really special, and not just the kind of status quo average feelings. It reminded me of when I was little. And I miss that. I miss being able to feel that way. So I wish the snowman would stop playing around